seated straddle. So you're gonna sit, take your feet a little bit wider than the chair, lengthen your body, and be sure not to move from your spine, but to lean in from your hips. So you place your hands to your knees, lean in so you're peering over the edge of the cliff. You wanna make sure that you feel that stretch into your inner thighs. So if this isn't enough of a stretch, you can take your body down a little bit deeper. Holding that for 30 seconds. So we're now gonna release the quadriceps. So we'll sit sideways on the chair. So I just have one thigh and that one hip or glutes resting. The other leg, I'm going to reach it back. If you're able to rest your foot flat on the floor like that, that would be great. I'm holding onto the back of the chair so that I'm not leaning away from it. I actually want to let myself lean over this leg and just tuck my tailbone a little bit, lift up in my chest and abdominals. And once again, I'm holding for 30 seconds. And I would repeat that, doing the same thing on the other side. So again, if you're on the other side, position, letting that leg travel back, you should be feeling that stretch through the front of your thigh, lift in your abdominals, a little tuck, a little push of the hips forward to help that open. So those are your first two seated stretches. The next one I'm just gonna pop down to the floor for. So we're gonna be going down to hands and knees. And you'll take one leg, let it stretch out to the side. Again, opening up and stretching through the inner thighs. If it's not enough of a stretch, you can always push your hips back a little bit further. You could also take the leg out a little bit further and then sit back, and that should move there quite nicely. I think you'll lose some of the vision of that leg, but that's okay. Another really terrific variation on this, it's like a mini split, and this is great because both legs are moving into hip flexion, and we're able to release the inner thigh in that position. So the reason that that one is even better is that, again, the hips are in that flexed position. You're bearing weight on the legs, so you're teaching the leg or re-engaging it with a long position instead of a shortened position. Because as we walk, if we're unable to push fully off of that back foot, off of the big toe, our gait stops here. We are hip flexed, inner thighs are enabled, pulling the leg forward to finish our gait and stride versus being able to push all the way through, getting full extension. And that is merely a result of standing on hard ground. If we are on the earth, we have the ability for the toes to fully articulate. We just don't in modern life. So we have to do extra corrective work. So finally, moving into a stationary side lunge. So you'll take your feet apart at a distance that you can easily travel over each leg. So we want to make sure it's not so wide that as we try to get over there, my shoulders are behind my ankle. I want to make sure that I'm in a position here where I can fully sit over my leg. And I simply come all the way up to stand, looking straight ahead, and I come all the way down over that other leg, up as I inhale, down as I exhale. I like to coordinate breaths with it, and so you can do 5 to 8 repetitions for each side. And I'll just throw in one more, just for you, freebie. So then we're down here onto the mat, or the floor, you don't have to be on a mat, and you'll simply bridge. So first step, glutes have to engage. We don't want the back working, we want the butt working. And then we elevate, and we lower, and we do that. Again, 5 to 8 repetitions. And then we bring the legs together, take one leg up, push with the foot first, feel your glutes engage. If you don't feel your butt working, there is no point in doing this. And you release, and again, engage, and release. And then we'll push, and we'll elevate, and we'll lower back down. And again, engage, elevate, and lower back down. And you repeat that for 5 to 8 repetitions on each side, ensuring that you feel your glutes engaging. As soon as your glutes are fatigued, stop. There's no point in continuing if you can't feel them work.